G'day everybody, welcome back to another weekly tipping video on the channel. So in this video today, I'm going to be doing my tips for round 13 of the 2022 AFL season. Since there is a game on Thursday night, I am going to be uploading this video on a Tuesday, so yeah, just thought I'd let you know. Anyway, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're going to enjoy today's video. And let's get into my tips, kicking off with my tips from last week. So my tips from round 12, I managed to get 4 out of 6 correct, and I mean, I'll take it, I guess. There was a few tricky ones. There were some close contest games, but yeah, 4 out of 6, not the end of the world. Got the Cats tip right, of course, against the Bulldogs. My margin was 10 points, and the actual margin was 13. So again, I'm doing pretty well with the first game of the week margins. But anyway, for the Catters, look, I just strongly believe they're going to get a result here and play great footy, and they sure did that. It was pretty much game over at quarter time. Jeremy Cameron starting with 6 goals. And credit to the Cats also playing good footy without Tom Stewart. It felt like there was a hole in their defence when he did go out with concussion, but they held on against sort of a surging Bulldogs, and yeah, it was a good quality game of Friday night footy. Adelaide versus West Coast, of course, did tip Adelaide, and we thought this could have really been an 80+ point thumping after quarter time. But credit to the Eagles, I think they kicked like 5 in a row, and there was seriously thoughts of could they come back here. So I mean, as an Adelaide fan, you're happy that you won, but I think deep down it's still a pretty ordinary performance. I think you want to be probably scoring a lot more higher or maintaining a way bigger margin against the side of the West Coast Eagles. But hey, a win's a win, and they break their drought of wins after losing 5 in a row. Gold Coast versus North Melbourne. Again, another straightforward tipping the Gold Coast Suns, and geez Louise, after quarter time, North Melbourne were leading by 3 goals, and we thought, geez Louise, could they be on for an upset here? But of course, the Suns, I think it was like 42-0 second quarter from the Suns. They just dominated, kicked goal after goal, and another annihilation for the Suns. And seriously, are they a chance for finals? The remaining games of the season, the Suns, I think they've only got 3 top 8 teams left, so they're a real solid chance for finals if they do keep consistent. Then the Demons versus the Swans. Did tip the Demons. I really thought they would bounce back, and I think everybody did expect that, but how about the surging Swans? Demons got off to a fly, but the Swans again, they always do it from 5 goals down or more. They just crawl their way back or find a way to do it. And even though I feel like in the contest, Demons were very good, how they won that game, the Swans, is they just simply applied so much pressure. Whenever Petrarca or Oliver had the ball, bang, they were all clamped up. And they were very, very effective on the turnover. And that's pretty much how the Swans won the game. 2 sort of lucky free kicks at the end, but I felt like Swans were real deserving winners. They played some great footy against the Demon side where it was a really winnable game from them. And in my eyes, maybe one of the games of the year. Just a great quality game of footy from both sides. And I'm particularly interested to see how the Demons will bounce back after losing 2 in a row. Then for the Sunday games, Hawthorn and Collingwood did tip the Pies. I did have that feeling of Hawks really, I believed, had a chance to really win this game from my tipping video last week, but I did go for the safer option of Collingwood. And geez Louise, again, another really game of the year contender. It was such an awesome game to see. By the second half, in the second half, it was getting pretty damp, pretty tricky conditions to play in, but both teams just going hard at it. Hawks could have really put the game to bed in the 4th quarter, and they kicked 3 points in a row, but Collingwood surged their way back, and how about 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐵? Clutched up in that 4th quarter, and again, just a massive win for the Pies. I feel like I'm maybe being a bit harsh to them. I feel like, they're a bit overachieving, but hey, credit to them. They've won 3 brilliant wins in a row, and another team in the hunt for finals. And for the final game, Freo and the Brisbane Lions. I really did think that the Lions class would saw their way home and pick this win up. I did expect it was going to be close, and Fremantle in the end won by 14 points, so I really could have been more. Lions put on a few consolation goals, and just Freo's surges at the moment, they are playing some excellent footy. They have those surges where they just can't miss. Michael Frederick kicking goals. Bailey Banfield had a fantastic game. They are seriously maybe the best team in the competition at this moment. They've beaten the Demons, they've beaten the Lions. That's pretty much the best thing you can do to show that you're the best team in the competition. So are they a chance for the flag? Of course they are. I reckon they're in that top tier now with Melbourne and the Brisbane Lions. But yeah, just a massive, awesome win. And a little bit of concerns for the Lions too. Their defence from that game was pretty shaky. Marcus Adams was not too great. Harris Andrews was pretty ordinary. And also Daniel Rich was a bit shaky across the halfbacks. So yeah, they really need to reset and regroup really, because I feel like they'll still make top 4, but they've just got to really watch out for a few surging teams. I reckon that could bolster up the ladder. Just before I get into my tips for the round, fellas, we'll just quickly go over the top 10 in my ESPN footy tipping competition. Make sure to join if you haven't already. Link is in the description down below. So let's get into the top 10. 10th, 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐻𝐿𝐿 with 92 points. 9th, Buck for Life with 93 points. 8th, Jason's Raiders with 93 points. 7th, Geordie Pluto 𝐻𝐿𝐿 with 93 points. 6th, 𝘬𝐿𝐼𝐷 with 94 points. 5th, 𝐼𝐷𝐿𝐿 0203 with 95 points. 4th, Demons Premiers 2021 with 95 points. 3rd, Richmond for Life with 95 points. 2nd, Batch with 95 points. Jeez, it's looking really tight. A lot of 95 pointers. But still, in first, Banger Harvey with 98 points. So now let's get into our tips for round 13. We're round 2 out of 3 for the bye round. So again, another 6 games with first batch of teams resting, of course. And first game, Thursday night, so this is why this video is going to be on a Tuesday. Richmond Port Adelaide at the MCG. Wow, what a contest this is. Kind of reminds me of the matchup. I don't know why, it's just flown to my mind of last year's game. I think it was like round 3 and the Port pulled off an absolute ripping contest and won that game. But this is going to be different, really, because Port are on the ropes a bit. Richmond in some fine form, and they really should have put that game to bed the other week ago against the Swans. So they could seriously be, 4 or 5 in a row, the Tigers, if they won that game 2 weeks ago. I think I am really feeling that Port can put on a display here. They really need to start picking it up. I feel they have that upside. They're starting to get a few players back. Charlie Dixon was back from their game 2 weeks ago. They have every chance to win, but against the Richmond side at the MCG, I just don't know how they'll go in Melbourne. Port Adelaide, maybe the venue won't bother them too much, but for me, Tigers are red hot at the moment. I think they're a team people are kind of sleeping on the moment with other surging teams from last week, so I'm going to be tipping the Tigers here. And look, I feel like it's going to be a close contest, but at the same time, I feel like Richmond can really pick up a convincing win. Usually with my first game of the round tips, I usually do close margins, but I think this is going to be a pretty somewhat convincing win, and I'm going to be tipping the Tigers by 26 points. Friday night game, we've got Essendon taking on Carlton. Essendon really need to pick up their stuff this season. I'm really expecting that they can pull off a ripping performance. But against the Carlton side, who I actually saw in the news today, 𝐼𝐷𝐿𝐼𝐷𝐿 could maybe returning for this game. A very early return from his injury. That just adds to so much more to Carlton's firepower. With Curnow already bossing it, but in the back and the side, that could just simply mean game over. Them 2 forwards against probably arguably one of the worst group of key backs in the competition, Essendon's key backs. I feel like this will be a win for Carlton. Will it be close? I mean, it can be. Essendon, look, they can still pull off ripping performances, I feel, because, they still have somewhat of a decent list, just extremely underperforming. But Carlton, again, they're flying, and that loss against Collingwood, those losses happen. I don't think it's anything to really be too concerned about. Carlton should, really flex their muscles in this game, and they'll pick up an awesome win and win by 22 points. Now for the Saturday games, Fremantle hosting Hawthorn at Optus Stadium. You look at this head-to-head and you think, yep, Freo every day of the week. And look, I think you have to go Fremantle here, of course. But, geez, Hawthorn are just such an unknown team. They can really catch teams napping, I feel, especially the good quality teams. And, geez, Louise, I think, Hawthorn really played their best footy against those top 8 sides. But for me, Fremantle, I think you have to say they're probably the best power rankings-wise, the best team in the competition at the moment. They are flying. They just simply can't do anything wrong at the moment. Their surges, their transition, the defense, just everything about their playing group is elite at the moment, and they should pick up a convincing win here. I don't know why. I don't feel like it'll be like an 80-point smashing. I feel like probably maybe in the mid-range, and I will be tipping Fremantle here, and they'll win by 33 points. Now for the Brisbane Lions, hosting St Kilda at the Gabba. Pretty interesting matchup. I do feel St Kilda, they're on the verge of the top 4. I mean, their performance this year has been, very good. They're probably, an overachieving side, but that's not a bad thing at all. They've got a lot of players in the side really stepping up, which is awesome to see. But against the Lions side, I feel like St Kilda can really attack the Lions here and possibly pick up a very good win, because they're a bit on the ropes at the moment, the Lions. I think they've been shaky the last 3 weeks. They really could have lost against the Giants the week before. The defense at the moment is pretty ordinary, really shaky. Harris Andrews, Marcus Adams, Daniel Rich, players like that were not really good at all last week against the Dockers. But I feel like I probably still will go with the safe option of the Lions. They're playing at the Gabba, and they are pretty much unstoppable result-wise when they do play at the Gabba. But it won't shock me if St Kilda can really pull off an upset win here. But yeah, safe option for me. Lions will pick up a result and win by 13 points. Now for the one Sunday game, we have North Melbourne taking on GWS at Marvel Stadium. I feel like this is a pretty straightforward tip for me. It's just really hard to find improvement for North Melbourne at the moment. I feel like, you know, if the best possible situation is not necessarily to pick up wins, they've just got to really show improvement. But I feel like the players in their list, which we expect them to be guns like Tarrant Thomas, Davies Uniacke, 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴 𝐿𝐴, they've just been really struggling. But that's fair enough. I mean, North Melbourne in general, it's hard to really excel in a poor side. So yeah, Giants should pick up a nice win here, and I feel like they'll really start to bolster up the ladder. I think that loss against the Lions last week just shows that their list, new staff, they have extremely high amounts of upside, and they'll win a beauty here, or win by a lot, I do feel, and they'll win by 10 goals, 60 points. And now for maybe one of the games of the round. Bit of Queen's birthday action, big freeze. I think it's 7 or 8. It is. I think it's 8. I think it's 8. Please tell me in the comments if I am wrong. I CBA to research it. Anyway, the game itself. Look, these past 2 weeks from the Melbourne Demons, they've just really shown that they're a beatable side. They really are. If you can really clamp down on them, if you can apply the pressure, apply the heat with multiple bodies on the one ball carrier, and be very effective on the turnover, that's really their kryptonite at the moment, I do believe. The Demons, against the surging Collingwood side, again, they can really punch above their weight and possibly pick up a result here. We found out that Tom McDonald, in my eyes, a very, very key part to the Demons side, is going to be possibly out for the remainder of the season with a fracture in his foot. And look, it's probably just a, in my opinion, kind of thing, but I do believe Tom McDonald is such a massive asset to that Demons side. He's just a role-playing forward, really. He gets the job done, kicks goal after goal every single game, can really take a contested mark. And it felt like the Demons forward line last week was pretty ordinary. They really had to rely on Gordon Jackson to kick their goals. But against Collingwood, look, I can really see Collingwood get a win here, not going to lie. But Demons going 3 losses in a row, I feel like I just can't see it, really. I simply cannot. I know people are starting to really criticise the Demons, saying, oh, they're pretenders and all that whatnot. But, you know, these kind of slumps do happen for potential flag favourites. It happened to the Tigers back in 2019 when they lost, I think, 3 in a row. But I'm going to be tipping the Demons here. They should get Stephen May, or they will get Stephen May back in. But nevertheless, it's going to be a really good game of footy, I do believe. And it's going to be close. I do believe this will be another really solid performance from Collingwood. But Demons, I think, yeah, they'll be too classy, too strong in the end. I think Petrarca, Oliver have been somewhat ordinary these past 2 weeks as well. So they've got a lot of players that really do need a lift. And yeah, they'll pick up a result here and win by 14 points. So everybody, there are my tips for round 12 of the 2022 AFL season. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you wanted to enjoy today's video, and make sure to comment down below and tell me what you think of my tips, and feel free to comment down yours below too. Love to hear your fellas' thoughts. So everybody, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you later, friends.